But first, to our top story, new body camera video revealing the moments when Portland police shot and killed a man who was accused of pulling a gun on a supermarket security guard. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko. Let's get right to Jake Coulter live outside Central Precinct downtown with the update. Jake?
Yeah, David and Christine, we'll show you some of that video, which, as a warning, can be a little hard to watch. But the DA's office has concluded that the use of deadly force by the officers was justified. They say the suspect pulled a gun on the officers before they opened fire. This is body-worn camera footage of Portland police officers moments before using deadly force on a suspect earlier this month.
Eric, it's the Portland police. We're not going away. We need to talk.
Eric is 57-year-old Eric Scherer. According to police, Scherer had pulled a gun on a security guard at a grocery store days before. This information prompting this kind of response from police when executing a search warrant.
When they show up with shields and flashbangs, they're trying to protect themselves, right? This guy was at previous location with a shotgun. The shotgun was recovered, but he's on video punching out a pistol, threatening a security guard. So, of course, you're going to go with heightened awareness.
Ralph Salento is a former lieutenant with the NYPD and a professor of police science at John Jay College. He offers insight into how the officer responded.
When I see that video and they are going to use the gas to get him out of the apartment, that's to make him come to you. Cops get hurt when they go in because you don't know what's waiting for you in there.
Other residents on the floor of the apartment building evacuated before police released the gas. Once Scherer exited, the situation escalated.
Hey, let me see your hands. Come out with your hands. Point a gun at me. Point the gun at me.
This photo shows the handgun at Scherer's feet, loaded with a round in the chamber. Scherer pronounced dead at the scene.
I have no doubt that that cop did not want to shoot him, but he of course he did not. But he came out, the suspect came out with a firearm. Thank goodness that the shield was in front of the officer.
Salento says he agrees with the DA. This was a clear-cut case of justified use of force.
Rarely have I seen a more textbook use of force and a more textbook justification of a use of force, not in my recent memory.
And this is the first officer-involved shooting in Portland this year. The officers who fired their weapons are still on administrative leave, but police say that's just standard protocol. Back to you.
Jake Coulter live outside police headquarters downtown. Thank you, Jake.
In tonight's headlines, 2 Longview High School students are facing very serious charges tonight, including rape, unlawful imprisonment, and indecent exposure. Authorities arrested both in connection with an investigation at Mark Morris High. This apparently relates to an incident earlier this month. The case involves minors, so police are not saying much, though add there is no current threat to students. Authorities are also looking into the school district and mandatory reporting requirements. The superintendent calling the allegations deeply troubling and saying the district is cooperating, providing additional counselors for students and bringing in an outside investigator to review, quote, district practices related to its athletics program, including student supervision and staff training. A reminder, if you or someone you know is a sexual assault survivor, know that help is available 24/7. One option for you, the National Sexual Assault Hotline, the number 800-656-4673.
Portland police have arrested the man accused of stalking and sexually harassing Portland Community College students 4 times over the last month. The latest incident happened yesterday afternoon at a bus stop at 82nd and Division near the Southeast Portland campus. Police arrested 37-year-old Abdi Wahid Dahir Youssef this afternoon. Court records show Youssef was arrested back in November for a similar incident at that same bus stop. He pleaded not guilty in that case.
A man has been sentenced to 23 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to killing another man at an East Portland MAX station. Officers found 23-year-old Tayshawn Nash dead on the platform at 148th and East Burnside in September. Investigators used surveillance video to identify and arrest Felix Juarez Perez, who admitted he confronted Nash over unpaid drugs, shot him, and struck him with the gun.
New testing suggests measles may be more widespread in Oregon than case counts show. There have been 5 cases reported so far this year, but a new Oregon Health Authority dashboard tracking measles in wastewater found low levels of the virus in 9 counties, suggesting a broader community spread.
It is really important to remember that these cases likely represent just a fraction of the true number of measles cases, since not everyone who becomes sick will seek medical treatment or be tested, and therefore may not be reported to us in public health.
Nationwide, nearly 1,000 cases have been reported so far this year, compared to about 2,300 in all of last year. Health officials say the best protection is making sure you're up to date on the measles vaccine.
All right, let's talk weather now with a look at snow on the ground this morning in the Coast Range. And while some other areas saw a wintry mix, on the valley floor, it was nearly all rain. So spots in the West Hills did see some stick and snow overnight, including Council Crest, which sits at just over 1,000 feet.
Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino joining us now. So Matt, what's next for us?
You know, things are going to settle down. That's happening right now. And then we go back to rainy weather and potentially warmer weather as we get into the weekend. But right now up at Timberline, 20 degrees, nice and cold. There's been 4 inches new snow. Throughout the week, there's been about 20 inches of new snow up at Timberline, so it's been a good week. No one day has gotten like 1.5 feet or anything, but we've gotten several inches pretty much every day so far this week, which is great. Meanwhile, our view from Vancouver back towards Portland, we're looking south and west from our camera at the Springs at the waterfront. Really a beautiful sky, 41 degrees, won't get it'll get cold tonight, colder than it did last night. For that reason, we will be looking at areas of frost in the morning, Portland down to about 30. But if you're out away from the city, you may easily drop to 27, 28 degrees. So that's why we're calling for areas of frost. Could be fairly widespread too, but turns into a partly sunny day. We climb to about 46, which is below average still by about 5-6 degrees for this time of the year. But we're headed towards warmer weather. Like I said, wet weather this weekend. The latest on that, guys, in a bit.